Germany calling, Germany calling, Germany calling. Here are the Reichsender ambush, Station Bremen and Station DXB on the 31-meter bed. You are about to hear our news in English.
12 minutes until missile launch. All hands man your stations.
General, we believe there is a spy aboard. Should be delays the missile launch on London. What? You will not escape that easily. What is that in your pocket? Show me! It's a bomb!
OSA headquarters. This is BJ Platt. Wake up the director. Tell him we have to meet as soon as I land.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and it is time to do it right for Return to Castle Wolfenstein. This time, Sabo, in prime time. No more of this 11 a.m. crap.
Yeah.
Enough of that. All right.
It's nice.
European audience.
We went through the whole tournament, and we never had a primetime, North American primetime game. This is a first for us. It's amazing.
I see that Nail is back. Just in the nick of time. Welcome to the command center. Wolwitch on the mic. Sabo the Saboteur has decided to burn the midnight oil as well and is going to join us, our communications officer. And Nail the Geek Squad commander. Now, no sign of Gut yet, but I bet he's going to pop in here anytime. So, this is going to be a cool shoutcast tonight. We've got Birdz versus Problem, and this is our first U.S. versus U.S. matchup that I think we have had in 11 years now. So, this is exciting.
Yeah, no, finally something where the time zone actually matches up to our common game time, you know. People are actually home. They may be doing fireworks today, you know, celebrating or have some barbecue, but
Happy Memorial Day.
It's going to be fun. Definitely fun. Spread the word, Facebook, whatever.
Yeah. I'm expecting, like I said, some small numbers, Sabo, because most of our audience is European and probably sleeping. But wake them up. The Axoscope, he's here. He's had a 3 or 4 hour nap. He's ready. And we're going to be looking at base and beach, the B maps tonight. So no more UFO. We're going to have the double B action of base and beach unfolding here as we go back now to where we should be, week 2. We had a glimpse of week 3 earlier, about 5 hours ago, in the KIH versus Cave match. But now we're back. We're back in time in week 2, and it's beach and base. And I'm expecting some good times.
So am I. This is going to be really good. It'll be nice to see two American teams playing against each other. We've talked about this so much during the last tournament, how the strategies have always been a little bit different. You know, the Europeans play kind of hard and fast. I think that's a result of the ping advantages that they've historically had. And throughout the entire RTCW Cup tournament, whatever you want to call it, that we had, the only American teams we ever saw were playing on against European teams. So one or the other had a huge ping disadvantage. Right. And that's always going to completely change your strategy, maybe making you a little bit more Panzer-centric. So now we see American teams playing on their own home turf, and based on problem I'm looking at in the server right now, you know, they're pinging 50, which is what we've seen for everybody in Europe so far. So it's going to be really good stuff.
Let me go ahead and join server here, and then once I do that,
is there a password for that server?
Yeah, if you can load that up.
Let me look that up.
Into your comments. All right, and then we'll hop in. So, we'll take a look here very quickly at the rundowns, but first, we're going to do a quick roster rundown of those of you who are elite and in channel. Smokesteel, welcome. Elegy, Ozu. Is that Ozo? It's got to be Ozo.
It probably is.
Amish Foe 20.
I don't know what he's doing up.
Foost is alive. TK Pow. I'd be very disappointed if TK Pow wasn't here. This is his time zone. CKY Ass is here as well. Very now, also in channel, scrolling up, Chocula187. I came to see all the troll rage faces and necks. He's ready. Eli Manning Giants,
that's nice.
Who just recently decided to follow me on Twitch. He had some critique early. He was on the fence. I don't know if I like this Warwitch. Okay, I like it. He's okay. I'll hit follow.
It's fine.
Yeah. So welcome. We're going to hop in server. Foost, yes. I will have Nail hop on that here in a second for you. Nail or Foost would like a rundown of the players to watch because, well, these are going to be unknown players to him. So we'll give you that rundown here in a moment.
That's right.
I'm going to hop in server. Sabo, let's hand this over to you.
Okay, well, you know, if you are just joining us, we have two North American teams playing tonight. It's Return to Castle Wolfenstein in week number 2 of the Legacy Cup over here. It's the Birdz versus Problem, question mark. The Birdz, I think if you've been watching this show, you know there's a history behind them. They don't like me very much, but that's okay. I like that they are American and they are, you know, supporting the home front over there. You know, these guys have been doing pretty well this tournament so far, though. In week 1, they, who is it? They stopped Team Arise in a 4-0 match right there, which is pretty incredible. Problem also came off undefeated in round 1 as well. So basically, we've got 2 undefeated North American teams coming face-to-face right now. Big names on both sides, so it's going to be a really good game. Nail. What are you thinking? Problem, Birdz?
Oh,
Who's
very Rhino.
Tonight?
Okay. Sorry, Rhino.
Well,
if there's one thing you should know is that I slaughter names. We got it right. Okay. Carry on. I'm in server.
No, his name is Reich now. We'll just keep calling him that. No, I mean, CKY says that it should be close, and I know they've been scrimming a lot. I see them posting messages and asking, so if he said it's going to be close, then that should be something to watch. I think as far as like players to watch for, probably be, I don't know, I want to say Caffeine, Inferno, Juventus, and if Donga was playing, I'd say him. So those would be probably the ones I'd watch. I'm not sure exactly, you know, who plays what classes, but I'm always interested to see who's pansing. On base, it's always fun because it's not the easiest thing in the world on offense, but on defense, you definitely have the upper hand. So it's going to be a lot interesting to see, or very interesting to see how these teams play different now that they have no problem with ping. Because I know trick jumping and stuff like that, it feels completely different. It's so different. So there won't be any problem with that now. And we'll see if they actually have the pace of the Europeans, or if they still have some things to work on.
Now,
so there's your rosters.
I'm a little
go ahead, Sabo.
I'm a little unfamiliar with this team problem over here. I know they weren't in the previous tournament, but I'm looking at the roster rundown. I recognize some names. I see Donka, Inferno, a lot of guys from Team Stable over there. What's the story behind problem? Is it just kind of part of that whole split that happened with Team Stable? I don't see Parcher on the lineup at all.
I think so, because like Mike or CKY said, he had too many players on the team, so it really defeated the purpose of having anything like that, where we could USA could have had 2 more teams in their spec locking, of course. I think that is what's going on here, because Inferno and Juventus, they both used to play on that. Bob Saga, I know him from the public server, the Shrub server. So I mean, I know most of the names. We know most of the names, and it is just a split up there.
So we got Bob Saget.
Okay, so
Moses.
Good stuff.
Is that Juve or Juve? Pain Train.
Just Juve, I guess.
Okay, Pain Train. All right, these are great names for a broadcaster. I can work with this.
They are.
Bob Saget, Pain Train, Inferno, and Juwana. All great names. That's classic stuff. Then, for the Birds, we've got Goose, Caffeine, who I've learned much about, thanks to Nail, Troll, 8, Rampage, and Spudzer. I'm excited. Looks like MP Base is going to be our first lineup and matchup here this evening, and we're just moments away.
So, Nail, earlier in the previous broadcast, Cave versus KIH, of course, if you're just tuning in, that was a great game there. It was 4-0, but actually pretty close in the rounds, KIH taking the win. During that broadcast, you were talking about this game a little bit, and you were hating on Caffeine. What's the story with Caffeine? I see he's in the starting lineup for the Birds, and you were saying some vicious things, man. The Birds don't stand a chance as long as Caffeine's playing. He's playing. Are they screwed?
They might be. I mean, he's kind of he's the Zed of USA. He's going to be TKing people. He's going to be body blocking them, getting in their way, calling out wrong spawn times. Picking up ammo when he's got full ammo already. Just needs pistol ammo. So he's just all sorts of trouble, is what it comes down to. We'll see if they can work around that. I guess they think he's a good guy. Good guy,
nothing but trouble.
I'm going to give a couple shout-outs here from in-server right now. We have a shout-out to Duster from Pain Train, or Duster.com, and a shout-out to Chocula from Troll, who is apparently the mother of his children. And then as I look in channel, what do we got here? Smoke Steel, does it not look good in default? This is how I see the world. The rest of you see it in black and white and incredibly bright. I just look... not so much. Chrono 54321, welcome. All right. John Miro would like to give a shout out to his brother and Bird. It's been a long time.
Tie rounds.
I'm
wondering if it goes to tie rounds. What map do we play after that?
I don't know. And we don't have Zed here to answer those questions, so I guess we'll just kind of hang out and see what happens.
We can make up our own rules.
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, worst things can happen.
The first map looks like it's going to be base. We've seen this quite a lot. And, this is a map that I used to kind of dread going into, especially as a broadcaster. But these days, it's really grown on me. It's one of my favorite maps. It's got this sort of common defensive strategy. You kind of sacrifice radar station number 2. Focus all your defense on station number 1, and if you do that, it's pretty much an impenetrable fortress, and the only way for the Allies to make any progress is to wear down the defense. It's a slow, drawn-out war of attrition, and if you can do it, and if you can time it just right, then you get to plant the dynamite. It's always fun to see that gradual strategy.
You know that sound, ladies and gentlemen, soldiers and soldats. It means it is time for Return to Castle Wolfenstein tonight. It is Birds, it is Team Problem locking horns here on MP Base, and it looks like it is going to be the Birds, taking the offense here on round 1, set 1. Welcome in this Memorial Day weekend. Sabo the Saboteur, take it away.
Well, you know, this is very interesting. The allied team of the Birdz are running 2 engineers. They got Lieutenant Goose running off towards radar station number 2. But look at this little tunnel push going on. I'm following Rampage. He's the engineer. They've been spotted now, trying to run through the tunnel, get that sneaky plant towards station number 1.
Nice support fire right there
Massive
from Inferno.
Fire.
That's a great way to start things off.
Down, Warwitch.
Very nice. Bam. Look at this problem right from the start. Straight down, just filling it up. Nail and locking it down, so they are really bringing the A game right from the start.
Yeah, the very first push, they put up a couple arties on the north, tunnel. They killed out, and then they went back there, assuming they're going to have good cover from that. It got them halfway down the tunnel, but then it looks like Inferno is that guy. He plays Ozo's spot. He sits on the little red. Yeah, he sits on the bridge, and he actually had some action this time. So we've seen that spot can be pretty boring sometimes, but right off the get-go, looks like they're going to start grouping up probably radar 2 instead, and we'll see. There's definitely not going to be a full hold here, not on this map.
Well, 13:24 here on the clock, and as Sabo had called initially, the Birdz had went with that 5-man push, mainly up the tunnel, leaving 1 man, 1 engineer behind to take out that second radar station. So 1 station's down, uncontested, unsurprised, and now we're seeing the teams kind of fall back to their traditional roles that you see on MP base Sabo.
Yeah, you know, it was kind of a risky strategy on the part of the Birdz over there. It really paid off well. It could have paid off a whole lot better if they were able to sneak that engineer up to radar station number 1. But hey, they got the dynamite, and now we're waiting on the first, I guess what I would call the first true push on the part of the Birdz. It looks like it's going to be coming out of that dangerous top-level door. I'm seeing a couple of explosions in there, but peeking in spec mode, I don't see anybody on the part of the Birdz. That's because they're all hanging back at radar station number 2. Warwitch just kind of waiting to, I guess, decide which way they want to go.
Well, let's find out. Let's get some actual insight into what is going down for the Birdz strategy tonight as we dial into their war room. Let's crack the code and take a listen.
Panzer's going to probably attack and shoot and kill, so spread it out. Alright, they didn't...
Birdz are very focused.
Airstrike going off.
I'm behind you.
One comes bounding in, inside, crossfire, nice revival, 8s. 1 down, tries to get the second, can't get it done. Now coming in from the back and the underside as well. 2 top, 2 bottom, and you can see the massive crossfire. Bam! And Shazam!
Guys, right behind us.
All of us tunnel, all tunnel.
You heard it, they're going tunnel this time.
They're spotting now.
Now. There's still a guy on the bridge.
Troy, you might want to take bridge shot. They'll be there.
Allied blitzkrieg.
Two there.
Picking up road again.
There he is, Panzer.
Nice medic train for the Birdz.
Shit.
Whiff from Troll. The Panzer does not find its mark.
Oops.
And here's Goose
Right,
with
nice.
Calm down.
Nice crossfire here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have worked if the
head out of war room, handless to nail. Go ahead.
Like,
yeah, if the spawn for the Axis was like 5 or 10 seconds later, it would have worked perfectly. But they were both, like, the Allied spawned exactly when the Axis spawned, and they were always going to beat that race to the tunnel. It's just like the very first spawn of the game at that point. So they're gonna. There was a good push. They timed it well. They had people pushing low and high at the same time. They just too much crossfire going on that very top northeast area.
Yeah, I agree. It was really strong, really good push straight off the bat, but the Axis were there first. They spotted the Birdz coming out of the tunnel and just shut them down very quickly. Now we're seeing a more traditional sort of push right here.
Watch out for that little TK pounding in, and they cannot get penetration. Sabo, maybe Goose is finally going to get inside, but close range, facial, and then knife to death. So ain't going to happen. Now every attempt, every route so far that the Birdz have taken have been shut down by problem.
Rampage coming up the north. Oh, he was in the stairwell, but he was by himself. He took out 3 people on the way there, but finally got taken out by Joanna. So Rampage made some progress going low all the way around the spawn. But now all the Axes are at radar 1, trying to get across the bridge of death and set back up on northeast. So the pushes, they've been killing them, but just unfortunately there's not been very many people alive after the push is over. So the Allies are pretty much going all through the tunnel, or all the way back to Radar 2. They've really got to get like a good shot or Panzer right on the spawn time, just to get Juventus or Juve out of his sink.
You know, that's an interesting point. I really haven't seen a whole lot of Panzer action, just as I say that there's a one-for-one kill over there.
Troll's been trying.
Troll
I've
and
been with him.
Juve with a little Panzer exchange there. But we haven't seen the typical, you know, heavy Panzer kills at that door that we see in a whole lot of other rounds. I'm just surprised to see Problem kind of taking it easy with the Panzer. We still got 8 minutes and 55 seconds on the clock.
He's been all over the place. They don't know where he's standing, because he's on the barbed wire, he might be in the box room, he might be on the tower, hiding near the light pole. So he's been moving all over the place. But it's just the fact that you know, even if they kill them all, they know the spawn time, but they're just not, you know, they're not getting it done. They know what to do, but ooh, TK on Goose.
Nice little split push going on right now. I'm following Caffeine for the Birdz.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man. They were trying to be all sneaky with a push through the bottom, got shut down.
Let me just go back in time and scroll up through the console. Everything that you're seeing, it is just
a lot of kills.
Problem. Look at this. Caffeine blasted. Problem
on
Pain
top,
Train,
Moses
all
and Juve.
the way down. That is the problem right now with the Birdz strategy, is they simply cannot get off the ground, and their wings are being torn apart, stomped on, as Sabo might say. So they got to regroup, pull out the talons, and start kicking some ass, because this could be an incredibly long match, long round for the Birdz.
Well, you know,
you said it right there. You said that's the problem. So I guess we figured that out.
Yeah, but the problem is the fact that if you look at the scores, the stats over here, Problem's shooting at a 64% efficiency to the Birdz 24%. When you're in a situation like that, you're just being outgunned and outshot. And even if you have the superior strategies like the Birdz may have in this round, you just can't execute when you're being cut down by all those crossfires.
Again. Just look at the console, man.
Shut down.
Bam. Just a shutdown of the Axis Iron Fist.
And TK airstrike by Caffeine there. Can't say I didn't call that one.
Oh, we almost had an engineer. Somebody was sneaking over towards radar station number 1 for the Birds. I don't know how
Rampage
he got
again,
up there. Rampage. He was so close to getting a sneaky plant, got shot, knifed in the back, and that was the end of that. Really good sneaky work. He's giving Homie a run for his money on this particular map, but just couldn't get any joy.
And see, Juventus, what he did there, or Juve, sorry, he pushed all the way to Radar 2, right on spawn time. He just pushed out. They were all in the box room there. He shoots them. He suicides out. He resets, and unfortunately, you know, a couple people probably got gibbed on the shot. So he's being really unpredictable, which is what you have to do here on base. Troll he's jumping out and he's trying to shoot people, but oh no, he jumps out with a grenade instead of his Panzer.
Not a good choice right there.
I mean, look, the console's just blowing my mind, Sabo.
Yeah, we just keep seeing the Birdz getting annihilated on each push, but you know, here's the problem that I'm seeing over here. It's MP base, right?
Yes.
You cannot reasonably expect to make it to radar station number 2 if the Axis defense is completely set up. It's almost impenetrable against a good, even a decent team. Yeah, Radar 1, whatever, the one that hasn't been blown up yet. What you really have to do is start shooting various pushes, throwing airstrikes up there from the tunnel in the hopes of knocking 1 or 2 people out. You want to just throw them off base enough so that you can kill out on offense and make a strong push, medic train your way all the way to radar station number 1. And I don't see any of that war of attrition going on the part of the Birdz. They're running all together at a fully staffed defense, and I just don't think you can do that.
Yeah, again, we're going to take
what they're doing is 4 high push, 2 low push. They're not fooling with tunnel. They're not putting any airstrikes up. Mortars up. Like they did the very first push, they put some mortars up on the bridge, and that makes people move around. So yeah,
yeah,
they
exactly.
Change things up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Just be unpredictable. I think that's what the Birds need to do. They need to get airborne and change that strategy just a little bit.
We do have something cooking here, though. Yeah, but not for long.
One lone engineer, that's going to be Goose over there, stuck on top of the roof.
Caffeine gives him a couple shots to let him know he's there.
Engineer gets gibbed, and it's Caffeine all alone.
But we have Troll Panzer on the northeast tower.
All right.
Let's see if he can... Oh, he shoots, but he misses. Dang, Moses was right there, too, in the box room. But he gets him with a pistol, so not a full loss there. Yeah, big spawn coming in from Problem.
Question is, how quickly can the Axis show up and get set up? We need...
Chocula 187's going way back in time. He's like, I blame abuse for ruining base. Hey, blame Paradigm as well. Paradigm Shift. All right.
Paradigm. Yeah, they're the ones that did it.
I think Chocula used to play for Uprise.
Okay, nice.
If I saw correctly.
Count Chocula.
187. Oh. 325 left remaining here on the clock tonight. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do have Engineer Lieutenant Goose on Northeast Tower going in the box room right now. He's backed up by 8th Medic. There is an engineer on defense.
Goose in.
Oh no!
Moses gonna shut him down, Engineer. Even if he got the red light, Moses was ready to...
Oh, here comes Rampage.
Here comes Rampage, though. I think he's got it. He's going to come in with a fire.
He might actually plan a second one, too.
Yes, he completes the objective, and now is going to plant on the outside for good measure. All right, so they really want...
And let's see...
They really want this station to go down in flames, so double plant. Station 1, looking for any engineers. So it took them a while, Sabo, but it looks like we got Moses incoming. Two engineers bounding up. I don't think they're going to have enough time.
Solid defense, though. It's ticking
away,
ticking away. Here come the engineers.
Inside, leaning down to the first. Bam! And great grenade. 12-3-5. The Birds have set a time that at least gives them a shot to take that first point.
Absolutely good stuff. Nail, what did you see? What made it work out for the Birds in the end right there?
Well, I mean, they got through on high, not low like Rampage had been getting through. Rampage just happened to meet them up there, so they had two people go from high northeast, and then Rampage came up the stairs, I think, and met them that way. That's how we got the plant actually planted. But yeah, it looked like they just finally broke through northeast to the point where they could stand there, not have to worry about it. Troll had the Panther shot, so I think that's what it comes down to is they need to just focus on spawn camping a little bit. Throw a person down through tunnel just randomly. Have them mortar the bridge, run down through tunnel. I mean, they're not going to hurt anything. Yeah, it's just going to keep them honest. Because from what I saw, it was 3 high, 3 low,
the ratios
4 high,
here, guys.
2 low. It's kind of predictable.
Look at the damage given, Sabo. The difference here.
Wow, 17 grand.
Yeah.
That's vicious. With that sort of damage given over there, you see Problem literally doubling the damage given by the Birds. It's impressive to see a team come through despite all of that superior firepower, as it were, and still even set a time. That's good stuff on the part of Team Birds. But, like we were talking about, you could see it happen up there. The Birds started making a little bit of progress up on top. You started seeing more and more allies hanging out in that middle section, and that threw the defense off kilter just enough for the momentum to slowly change in favor of the allies, and then there was that double plant, and that was the end of it.
The roles have been reversed, and now the Birds takes the Axis defense, and CKY in channel says that the Birds have a very strange defense. They play 2 on the tin roof, so we're going to find out exactly if that's true and if it avails them this evening. Problem now to the Allied push, and we have not actually taken a listen to that war room, so we're going to dial in to the Allied war room of Problem right now, right from the start. Jawohl, here we go.
Just wait through that shit. Do not worry.
That's Donka.
Let me know when you guys are going, Pain Fan.
Okay. I'm gonna kill out and go down.
We pushing low.
Yeah, I've got an RD on their spawn.
Alright, do not push yet, do not push yet.
Watch for 44.
Push for 46. Go.
Artillery.
Very patient.
Wait for the artillery, then we go.
John Miro.
Got
watch
Russian
out.
accent going on.
Donka's voice has not changed until